All right, go ahead.
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's the Alleged Podcast, fucking episode 27. We're back in the gym. We were going to be in the library today, but, fuck that. It's not happening. But yeah, it's weird. I was thinking about this the other day, because, I think I told you. I don't know if we've talked about it in the podcast, but, we've been, listening to our old podcasts and shit.
It's terrible.
It's still weird, this is episode 27. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
Even
why?
though I've been listening to them, it's a lot of them I remember them, but it's there's been so many times where I'll listen to the older ones now, and it's we talked about that, and I feel like we talked about that just a few weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you think are you saying we're repetitive, or
No, I'm not saying.
you just feel that things that we've talked about were a long time ago, and that it feels like it wasn't that long ago?
That it just doesn't feel like
Well-
we've been doing this for long, at all.
Well, we've been doing this week after week, so
Yeah.
that's probably why. I
don't know,
mean,
it's-
week to week, it's not that long,
Yeah,
so that's probably why. It's a consistent effort.
yeah. I don't know, but have you been? Are you still listening to them?
I hate it. I really do. Because for a lot of them, you just got a new laptop.
Yeah,
I've been the one editing them.
yeah.
So I've listened to them before.
Yeah.
I don't like listening to them to begin with because I don't like hearing myself. So having to listen to them again
Yeah.
Like,
No, I feel you.
for another time, it's a lot. Like, you told me you were going to take a break for a little while because it's
Yeah.
draining. Yeah, it is. I don't even like listening to them when I have to edit them.
Do you think it
So-
has something to do with also listening to yourself?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I hate listening to myself.
I hated listening to myself in the beginning of the podcast, but I think once we got to episode 10 or 11, not me just listening to them now, I mean just in general, I don't think I really give a shit anymore.
That's
It's
narcissistic.
narcissistic.
Yeah, I love myself.
Well, I'm not saying I love my voice. I'm just saying I've gotten to the point where it's oh, this is how I talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal.
Well, I always thought I had a deeper voice than I really do, but that's like your ears. I read about this. The reason you think you have a different voice than what you really do is because the sound that you hear through your ears have a different vibration going through your ear canal, because your whole face and your voice is vibrating your ears
At the same time
and
while you're
it's-
talking.
and it's not vibrating their ears like it is yours. Like, you have
Yeah.
an extra vibration going
Yeah.
on in your head. The other person that hears it does not. So that is why you hear a different voice than what is recorded or what is over
Yeah.
the phone. And usually most people don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's why when we say, "Oh, I hate hearing myself," and then you say, "Oh, well, you sound the same." Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
Because we literally, you hear it differently than I do.
Yeah.
But,
no, I feel you.
That's a real thing,
Yeah.
and I still hate it.
Well, I used to remember when I played a lot of Xbox back in the day, and I had a mic, and you were able to send 15-second voice messages to people, and I would love to just talk shit to people, basically, and then you would be able to send it and then listen to it, and I think that was the very first time ever I was oh, that's what I sound like, and I was really young, so I still had that
Yeah.
very kind of higher pitched voice, and I was way more nasally when I was younger, so it was oh wow, I don't really like that. I kind of understand why people don't like it when I talk in the lobbies now. I
Well,
get it.
See, as somebody who wants to go into broadcasting, it's kind of funny that I hate hearing myself because, you probably want to critique yourself and listen and get your do's and your don'ts.
Yeah.
And I remember freshman year when I was doing, broadcasting for my varsity football team in high school, they would, they'd be recorded and they'd be put online and whatnot. And that was my amateur first showcase of this business. And I didn't want to listen to them because
Yeah.
I was in denial of wanting to hear myself. And I never did. I never did. People would tell me, "Oh, I listened to it. It was good," or "I watched it." I'm like, I don't know. I didn't watch it. I was
Yeah.
there in the moment, and that was it. And then I was up and out.
I told you about the Stag Radio, right?
Yeah.
See, I never listened to them ever because I didn't know where they were at. I mean, I knew they were on like the website or something like that, but I never knew where to find them.
I never knew until like either the end of junior or the somewhere in senior year, our high school had a radio station at all. Like and when I did find out, I'm like, it must be like some small knit thing because they don't publicize it at all.
Oh, it was that you saw the room, right?
I did.
Small fucking room.
I did see the room, but it's like they didn't publicize anything, and it's like, why are you gonna invest in all that if you're not gonna make something out of it?
Well, I remember being in there. A lot of that shit was real cheap.
Was it?
Real cheap. Like it was not a good interface.
I never had to be in there, and like my mom and people who knew I wanted to do this were like, "Oh, you should totally get into it." No. Like, and that's another thing. I'm totally socially awkward, and this business is not a socially it is a socially awkward business, but it's not. You got to be social. So.
Yeah. Well, what I wanted to say is I really want to go back and find those recordings and see if we can like play them on the podcast.
The one regret I have is my football recordings. I don't know. I don't think they're in existence anymore.
You don't think so?
I've looked before, and I can't find them anywhere. So maybe Stag has an archive somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. I really would like to hear it because there was one where I went off about like Malcolm X and someone else. I was like talking about that shit. And like I said, those other kids. I don't know if did I talk about this on the podcast?
I feel like you did in an early episode.
I probably did. Yeah.
But I know you've talked to me about it.
Yeah, I mean,
multiple occasions.
Not to talk any shit about these kids, but holy fuck did I hate these kids that I did that fucking shit with, because they were like these two, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty fucking nerdy, but these kids compared to me, I mean, holy shit. They were like the Minecraft kids, basically.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Every fucking episode, guess what song they play? Fucking Gangnam Style, whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, why? And then there was like one or two episodes where I think they let me play what I wanted to play, and I think I played like Satisfaction and Paint It Black, something like that, like Stone songs.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I think it was like the one time I got to play any of my music. I was like, oh, fucking Christ. The thing that was funny, though, is that they never played any of that old school rock until like 3 months after I was like out of there. And
so
I was like,
the same group of people?
No, not in the radio. I meant in the school in general, like playing it in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
I was like, not 3 months, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I had an influence on this, because then I had there was people in my my second hour class that were like talking about like the Stones and shit like that, and I was like, I feel like I had a slight influence. Like I had that feeling, but I'm like, I guarantee nobody fucking listens to that shit. I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. I honestly have no fucking clue.
Well, I can say I didn't, so nobody else did.
Yeah, but you want to know something that's fucking weird? Like, I was so quiet in high school, all the way up until probably like middle junior year, and then that's when I started to become a bright little flower at school. But I would say a little shithead, more or less. Because I got too comfortable and then I started talking shit to everybody.
Nobody else saw it but you, but I rolled my eyes and almost threw my mic through the wall. I got sick. I got a little sick there.
Yeah, but anyways, what was I going to say? I mean, a lot of people, like, knew me for some reason. Like, I was talking to some people online the other day, and they were talking to me about the fucking podcast. Yeah. And they're like, oh, that's cool, dude. Like, I had you in this class in that year. And I was like, I don't fucking know who you are. There's some Arab dude. I don't fucking know. And then the place that I work at now, there's like 2 different people from Stag, and they knew who I was. And like, I didn't even see them one fucking time at Stag. And then I don't know. And then, oh yeah, my brother's workplace. He said every call girl that's there knows who I fucking am, and I don't know any of them.
What a call girl?
Like the people who
answer the phone.
Answer the phone and get orders.
Take orders. Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. Like I really have no idea why a lot of people know who I am, because like I was such a quiet motherfucker. Well, I barely talked ever.
But you you go through high school and you notice those quiet people, though. Like, you know they're quiet, and that's what you're known for. You're like, oh, that's the really quiet kid, or that's the really loud kid.
Yeah. Well, also, when I had the blue glasses in that era, a lot of people thought I was a drug dealer. Yeah. People in junior year asked me if I had drugs on me. I'm like, no, sorry. But, yeah, it was definitely, like, I don't know. But I think we've talked about this, how, like, senior year was, like, the only year I enjoyed. And, like, I think that's what I realized. Like, I fucking hate this school, but not everybody's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I was probably, like, part of the group of being a piece of shit, you know?
You definitely were. I mean, how could you not be?
But, you know, at least I never got into, like, any fights, you know?
No. There were those type of people, and then there were the piece of shits that just, you know, trolled, kinda.
Yeah. Was that me?
I think you trolled in a quiet way because you always talk shit.
Well, I talk shit about everybody, though.
Exactly,
you know?
But, like, you talk shit about everybody, but you never talk shit to anybody.
Yeah.
Except for your close circle of people.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's where you trolled.
Yeah.
The most.
But you know what? I feel like that also opened up my eyes, though, because, like, there were people I talked shit about, you know, like, back, like, whatever, that I met up with them in, like, fucking junior year or senior year. I was like, oh, okay, these people are okay. They're not fuckwads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, certain people.
Well, in the sound of talking shit, let's talk shit about Tom for a little bit.
I was about to bring it up.
Because Tom is throwing all of us on this earth for a fucking loop.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Who does he think he is?
I don't know.
Okay, so we're planning a trip to Six Flags, and we've been planning this trip for, like, probably, like, close to a month now. Like, from the start of just saying, hey, when are we going to go to Six Flags, to, hey, let's pick this day to go to Six Flags. And Tom has been talking about it for over a month, and I've been telling him to shut up, and finally we're just like, okay, fine. Let's do this. Let's go. And we picked last Wednesday. Why didn't we go? Oh, no, why didn't we go?
We were supposed to go last week?
Yeah, remember we had last Wednesday? Oh, because you said let's wait another week.
Yeah.
Because Tom said, hey, or I asked you if you wanted to go Wednesday, and you're like, well, I have to ask, and it'd be better if I could give him more time.
Well, also, they don't like it at my work if you don't ask them, like, a week or two before. It's like,
and
they want to know.
That's the great thing about working at a bigger business. You could just call the same day and be like, I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
But then we had it set for this Wednesday, but my mom broke her foot, and now she has a foot specialist that she has to go to on Wednesday, so we pushed it forward to Tuesday, and you couldn't get Tuesday off, right?
No, not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow. And so Tom's like, well, let's go Thursday.
Yeah.
And, well, first of all, we told Tom not to buy his ticket.
Yeah.
Until we knew, but he's a bitch, and he thought he was gonna force the issue. And buy his ticket. He's like, no, I'm just going to do it, and then they're going to be forced to. No, Tom, that's not how this works. Money, I'm not just going to spend my money like that. And so he did. And he bought it yesterday. Even when I told him, Tom, don't buy your ticket yet. We told him days before, don't buy your ticket until we know everybody's available. And he bought it.
He just doesn't listen.
And because he thinks we can just drop whatever else we have in our lives and go.
Well, yeah.
Because he doesn't have one.
He doesn't know what's going on.
And so we're going to push for Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask. Well, I emailed, but, hopefully it'll be cool.
Yeah, okay.
I definitely, if they don't reply to me, which they didn't yet, I'll probably just ask them tomorrow.
If we don't, we have to go Thursday or Friday.
I don't want to go Friday, though, because it'll be fucked.
I know, but if we don't, Tom's ticket isn't good until August 10th.
In my opinion, though, I think that would be nice because it'd be him tasting some medicine,
Why not to go at all?
Yeah, I mean, if she fucking paid money and then fucked up, I mean, that's his problem.
Yeah, but I still want to go.
I still want to go, too. But, I mean, if I can't do it this week, there's nothing I can do.
I know. But
the whole moral of the story, though, he's a fucking cuckbag, and he's still blacklisted on his fucking podcast, and he's a piece of shit.
And it's hilarious. I find it so funny that he's blacklisted because we hang out with him all the time.
Yeah, but that doesn't,
like,
you know.
Personally, he's a great man. Business-wise, he can go fuck himself.
No, he's
shove one of these
personally he's a shithead.
Well, yeah, but I still consider him a friend.
He's a decent human being, but he's a fuckwad.
He's a decent human being in terms of not creating world chaos.
Yeah, I had chaos in my head. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you know, whatever.
Amongst his friends, he's like Hitler, basically.
Yeah.
He screws everybody.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm really fucked up, but I at least take consideration for other people. You know, we should talk while we're on the topic of talking shit about friends. We should talk about that dumb motherfucker that texted me today.
Oh, Steve. Now the problem, you asked him. Didn't you ask him last night while we were at Friendship Fest if he wanted to go to Six Flags with us this week?
Yeah.
And what was his answer?
Well, I said we're probably going to go on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, man, any other day than that would just be great, man. You know.
Now, okay, so spoiler alert, even though there's no spoiler, he went today.
Yeah, well, apparently. I don't know if this
He allegedly went today.
I haven't seen any pictures on Twitter.
But my problem is he said he would go with us this week if it was any day but Tuesday. You think you think the idea to go to Six Flags today for him was brought up this morning? Or do you think this was planned out?
I don't know. I mean,
because why would he not mention last night that he was already going to Six Flags today?
Well, I don't know.
Unless maybe his ticket was free and he was willing to pay his own money to go again. But I for one wouldn't go twice on my own money.
I feel like he got it today. Like, he probably thought, well, I'm not going with them, so I guess I'll go with somebody else, and he's probably there with somebody else now. But he's not there. I don't buy it. I mean, I don't know who he could be there with. I mean, I guess Kabir.
The band.
Yeah, well, Erica worked today.
Oh.
So not her.
The rest of the band?
Rest of the band, yeah, probably.
I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't go
I don't
separated.
Know. Yeah, I don't
unless
know.
She said, no, just go.
I have no idea, to be honest. But I personally, I don't think he went. I don't think he did.
You think he's lying?
I think he's a lying sack of shit.
No, I think he totally went, and I think he knew last night, and I just think he was a sack of shit anyways, and just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to say anything, and for some reason he did today.
No, I think he's just being a cuckbag, and he's not going to fucking... He's like, I don't really want to go on a podcast today, so he's fucking making some shit up.
Steve is not in the movie anymore.
No, he's not. That fucking sleazebag.
He always denies our request to come on the podcast because it's the only day he's fucking rehearsing. Yeah. Like, literally, last podcast, I asked him, I said, can you come on Sunday? And he's like, yeah, just let me know. And so I asked him later in the week, and he's like, oh, I'm rehearsing that day. Like, anytime we ask him to do something, he says he denies us because of rehearsal.
I mean, I love Steve, but seriously, though, he's
the same. He's in the same group as Tom, business-wise.
Is that... Did you grab that out of my bag, or is it still in my bag?
No, this is a different one.
Okay.
My other watch is still in your bag.
Yeah. All right, make sure you get it out.
Okay.
Before we go.
And so I think he should be in consideration for a temporary blacklist.
See, I'd want to say yes to that, but the thing is he's going to go to Illinois State after the summer, so he's not going to be around. Unless we figure out a way to...
Those are the consequences, Zach. You have to live.
Unless we figure out a way to record a Skype conversation almost.
Well, okay, so we're going to move on from Steve just because I have an idea in my head. The reason I wanted to do... Today's Monday. We're doing it late. Like Sunday,
that's my bad.
Sunday to me is kind of late, but it's doable because the podcast comes out on Monday.
Yeah.
But we're doing it today because... For a few reasons. One, I don't like. If there's no reason to skip, we shouldn't skip, even if we're doing it a day late. But also, I just thought of this earlier in the day. I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And if
is that the New York or is that with your
that's
ma?
Florida.
Yeah.
With my ma. And we still haven't decided what we're gonna do, during those days that I'm gone. If we're just not gonna record, or if we're gonna I'm gonna give you some equipment. I'm gonna take some equipment, and we're gonna try to record.
Well, we can also do like our own Bill Burr edition where we both release our own.
Could do that.
We could do something like that.
We could do that. Or what I was thinking is, you have a Mac now. Yeah. So you have GarageBand, which is what we record on.
Wait, hold on. The only problem is with that, though, is that we only have one device to take in the mics.
Shit.
Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you?
I did not think about that, Zach. You fuckbag. God.
Well, I mean, if anything, one of us could use our mic in our computer.
No.
It's not bad, actually. I don't know if you've recorded anything with it, but it's not bad.
I have before. I've listened to it before. I didn't like it.
What you have to do is you have to put it in either iMovie, free iMovie, and then have the background noise reduced, and then it sounds better.
Okay. I don't know.
I think you can do that with that one app that George told us about, but I don't know how to do it on that.
Fuck that Audacity.
Yeah, fuck Audacity.
Well, let's see. Let's look at the calendar here. I'm leaving on.
Well, hold on though. What was your idea though? Did you
fucked my idea?
I fucked it.
You fucked it.
Well,
I fucked it hard.
I didn't really fuck it. You had an idea that you didn't think all the way through.
Yeah, 'cause you fucked it. But I'm leaving on Monday the 24th, which is 2 weeks from today, and I'm coming back. I'm coming back on August 4th. So if we record a podcast. And release it on the 24th, for the 24th, the day that I leave, we'd only if we didn't record one, we'd only miss 1 week.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
No.
It's not horrible. Because I'd come back on that Friday, we can record over the weekend, and we can release on August 7th.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
No, it's not.
Just missing one, or if you don't, you can have Steve on or something and do your own. A solo.
We just talked about him not being able to come on.
Or Phil. Phil hasn't been on in a while.
I don't know. I feel like if me and Phil tried doing one, it'd be two people talking over each other the whole time.
Wow.
That'd probably be what that would turn into. But I was what was I going to say? I was going to say we can also, like I said, the Bill Burr kind of style. We can also record our own.
Yeah, but again, like you record one from here and I record one in Florida.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You can give me the equipment, I'll record mine, and then you can take the equipment and record yours, release mine 1 week, release yours 1 week.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
You mean, okay,
so
I see.
The Zach edition of the podcast, your edition of the podcast, whoever wants to go first, don't matter.
I was honestly thinking about going solo last night.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't have done that without your permission, though. And I was like,
whatever.
No, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it tomorrow. I was like, maybe I'll just go solo.
See, the thing is, though, this is why we should probably invest in snowballs, because you can plug those right into your computer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll have to look into
certain
those.
Kinds, I think. I think you need, I think certain ones come with, like, an adapter.
I got internet again, so maybe
you did?
Try yours.
Ooh, motherfucker. Well, maybe not, though, because, it's still a new device.
Snowball Mike.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I don't know if we brought this up, but we released another car crash a few weeks ago. It's called Car Crash 2. Go and check it out.
YouTube,
yeah.
Yeah, we released the first one on SoundCloud, but that was
No,
that's too much downloading for some people with the video behind it. So we just put it on YouTube, and that's where they're gonna be. The Alleged Network, YouTube.
Yeah, and our Facebook's blowing up. So if you want to go on our Facebook, I post like fucking short little videos on there or sneak peeks. So if you ever want to go on there,
if you guys are the ones going to Facebook and putting the views and the likes and shit, go to YouTube, please.
Yeah, please.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, go to our YouTube. Go to our Twitter too. Our Twitter's fucking dead. Like, come on.
Well,
go to our Twitter.
Like, Humna is doing good with the Instagram and Twitter, but it's like, we're not.
Well, it's not her fault, though.
I know.
We're people who, we release a certain amount of content. And me and Tyler were talking about this. We have a lot of skits in mind, and we definitely want to get to them. And it's not even that we don't have enough time. I mean, Tyler works 2 days a week. I only really work till 3. So it's like we have time.
Yeah, we totally have time.
But, I mean, we just got to, talk about it, basically. It's just kind of getting down and doing it. And, but yeah, we'll definitely do it. I mean, Tyra had an idea since probably like however long ago, that car idea. It feels like you had it since forever ago.
Dumbass Ford commercial, and it made me cringe so much. I was like, we got to make fun of that.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do that. And I had that gummy worm video that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Humna, I think, had an idea. You have a new series idea.
Yeah, well, I have well, are you talking about the one I'm writing or the one that's
the YouTube Safari?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, we'll start something. I don't know when we'll actually start it because we gotta figure out stuff with a green screen. We gotta get it. We'll probably end up shooting it maybe in my garage. We gotta shoot it somewhere where we can place lights and shit. But we're gonna do this thing called YouTube Safari. I don't want to give too much away. It's just it's about YouTube and videos and random shit. Just whatever. You'll see when it finally comes out. Like I said, I don't know when the fuck we'll do it, but it'll be fun. Hopefully.
All right, we're gonna take our break. I have a couple of weird stories that I kind of want to get to.
All right.
So yeah, we're gonna do that next. All right, and we're back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
So I have a couple stories I want to get to. Maybe just one. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe two. I have two here. One, this is really just kind of like it more of the defending the person trying to defend themselves. Their responses more or less made me like pissed off. There's a girl. She was on Facebook, since has been deleted, but there's still screenshots of her posts and stuff. And
I thought they were going to say, like, this is someone you know.
No. Basically, what I get is she's like a white nationalist. I'm not really entirely sure what that means. I should have looked it up by now, but I didn't. But what she did, on the 4th of July, she had a friend film her peeing on the American flag while it was placed over the toilet using something called a Go Girl device, which is basically something that assists women to pee standing up. And so she was peeing on the American flag, and it eventually fell into the toilet. And, like, I don't like when people do that because usually they're just dumb people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, anger me to the point that I want to, like, fight for my country or anything. But it just, and now my internet's gone. But she basically said, fuck this government, fuck this president, fuck white people, even though she's white.
Yeah.
Fuck this, fuck that. And then, she is being brutalized by these people. She's kind of like one of the... in this situation, she's kind of like one of those, like, highly voiced feminist or highly voiced Black Lives Matter people. She's, like, high up there, so she's got a lot of people that are watching her. And, she's getting a lot of backlash. And one of the funny ones that I seen was... I'd love for someone to shove a razor-sharp K-bar up her, your favorite word.
Cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pull it straight up to her throat.
Yeah.
That's mean.
That's pretty fucked.
Yeah. That's
Sounds like something I'd probably say, but when someone else says it, it's like, yeah. And now I wonder, like, how many people think that when I say something like that.
But that's not what she did and what she said isn't what made me mad. It's what she tried to defend herself by saying. Was
it like a free speech thing?
Yeah, basically, she said, freedom of speech means that I'm entitled to do or say as I please, even if you don't like it, if I'm not physically harming somebody. And she went on to say, you can't have it both ways, freedom or none, practice what you preach or shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's hypocritical. Because
I'm fucking sure it is.
Because she's pissing on the American flag, saying fuck this government, but she's using the Constitution of the United States to defend herself.
Yeah.
And she's telling people, that are backlashing at her, they can't have it both ways. But that's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's pissing on the American flag because she hates this country and this government, but she's using the Constitution and the First Amendment to try to protect herself. That's what pissed me off about this story. You can't say fuck you, but then like you're basically, by defending yourself, what you're saying, you're basically saying fuck yourself.
I think by definition she's a dumb cunt.
Capital K.
Capital K.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. That.
Can I see a picture of her? Do you have a picture you can show me?
If my internet comes back up, I'll show you. I can try to find one on my phone. She's white. And
is she blonde or is her hair
brunette? She's
brunette?
like a young brunette female dumbass.
Does she have glasses?
No.
Would you classify her as like chubby?
No. Let's see.
I'm trying to picture
her name is Emily.
Well, do you want to really give her credit? Do you want to?
Good point.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at Emily. Her name's Emily. And there's like a million fucking Emilys, and 3 Emilys in the world work at my fucking restaurant.
Let's see. Pages. She has... this page is... it's just a... That's her.
No, she looks like a fucking dork.
She looks evil.
Fuck your candidate. Fuck you.
She allegedly deleted her Facebook, but this is like a public figure page on Facebook that has 457 likes, I think.
Just from looking at her, she looks like a real life troll. She doesn't look like anything fucking... she doesn't look like anything she says would really fucking matter, to be honest.
Well...
seems like a bitch.
The reviews on her are 1.8 stars out of 5.
Yeah. But the people that like her are probably fucking trolls.
It's really like it's gross. She posted on Friday, "I've learned my lesson. Crybabies often refer to everybody as snowflakes." She's a snowflake.
Yeah.
I don't even know the whole definition of snowflake. Like, I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I thought snowflake meant like, thinking about what actually snowflakes are, thought it was like a unique white person, because all snowflakes are different.
Yeah.
And snowflakes are white. But apparently they're like, I don't know. What I get from it, they're like unoriginal fucks. Like, basically, fuck boys or...
yeah.
Not fuck boys, but,
fuck wads.
They have the same mentality. Yeah,
fuck
wads.
Fuck wads, yeah.
I still don't get it. I don't use the term. I don't like the term.
By the way, going really quick, because you saying that kind of put it back on my mind. Did you get to the point listening back to our podcast to hear yourself start swearing on the podcast?
No. I might have, but I really haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that I was really thinking about, so...
because you definitely, like, stop yourself in the early, like, the early ones.
In the early ones that you're listening to, yeah.
Do you remember when you were trying to, like, a while ago, we were leaving Planet Fitness, I think you drove me, and you were trying to tell a story with the camera, and then you were talking about some kid talking shit at, like, your old school, and like you just didn't want to do it because you didn't want to swear on camera.
No, I don't.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Man, it's just like I barely remember like you not swearing now. Like it's really like it feels that long ago.
Well, I don't know why. Like I guess it was more or less for family that I did it. Like if my family was gonna listen to this, they don't hear me swear, so I didn't want them to hear me swear here.
And
but now I just don't care.
Yeah, and then I don't know if many of you know this, but like Tyler's listened to like one of our first few, and she like posted on her Facebook something like, oh yeah, that was really good, Tyler, but oh my god, that kid.
Yeah, because like your early ones, the early ones, you had the F-bomb coming left and right.
Yeah, and I still do, but you know.
Still do, but you have a civilized, you're more civilized about it.
I feel like, really I have to fucking do that? Come on. I feel like at this point, I've just gotten to like, I swear, but like, I feel like if you try to lessen them to a certain point, and then you like say a joke, it almost enhances that joke.
Yeah, because it's not repetitive.
Yeah, but like fuck still is like a staple, like within like my air.
But you totally still like one thing that you always do is when you open the podcast, you're like, hey guys, it's the Alleged Podcast and fucking.
How the fuck you doing?
Well, either that or you split when you say the Alleged Podcast and the date or the episode. You split it by saying and fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like though that also kind of sets the tone.
No,
like right when they hear it,
that's a slow
like,
ass.
I'm ready.
That's a slow ass tone then. Like that's not an I'm ready tone. That's like. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
I'm saying like they're ready to like hear something that's profane.
Yeah, but this is the 27th episode. I think they know what to expect by now.
Well, I feel like at this point we still have new listeners.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, like you could make that a tone setter, but the way you say it at the beginning, it's I think it's too slow to be a tone setter. It's more like I just rolled out of bed and somebody told me I had to do this. So
yeah.
here
you want to be like, hey, what's going on, motherfuckers?
Well, you used to do that.
I used to do that, yeah.
And I think that's more of a tone setter than.
Well, I stopped doing that because you didn't like when I did that.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. It's you're labeling our listeners as motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers, yeah, but everybody's a motherfucker, right?
But I don't label our listeners as that, so it's kind of pointless if only half the side does it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing that you say. I don't know.
Anyways, you had another story?
Well, the second story is a more sad story. It's about a child, about a little.
He died.
No, well, he might eventually die.
Okay.
His name is Charlie Gard. He's from the UK. He was born 2016 sometime. He's one of 16 known cases of people with mitochondrial DNA depletion syndrome.
What is that?
Which basically causes you not to be able to see, hear, move, or breathe on your own.
Oh, that's awful.
It is terrible. It's terrible. It causes the cells to not function properly, and you basically deteriorate and die.
Yeah. No, that sounds like shit.
But he's, I don't know. I think I heard he's getting close to a year old now. And his parents, they must have a good financial situation, or they just got a lot of help, because I know they started a GoFundMe page for him. They heard about, they knew this was a bad disease, and there's really no treatment for it at all.
Yeah.
But they heard about this treatment in the United States called nucleoside therapy. So they're in the UK, and this is in the US. So they started this GoFundMe page, and they raised a lot of money, like over a couple $100,000 or something like that. And the problem is when they wanted to do this, the doctors at the hospital suggested just, taking Charlie, the little boy, off life support and letting him die. And the parents were like, well, we want to try this. And the hospital was like, it's really not a good chance. We don't want you to do this. And when parents and hospitals in the UK disagree, it goes to court. And so they went to court, and the first court, just like our system, it goes through the courts. The first court that they went to sided with the hospital, saying that the suffering of the little boy was greater, a more importance to the hospital than your wanting to experiment with this and keeping him suffering. And so they went through the Court of Appeals, and eventually went to the European Courts of Human Rights. And the hospital, or that court, sided with the hospital as well, saying that they can discontinue life support for the child. And the family was like, well, if that's the case, then let us at least take him home where he can die at home. Yeah. And the hospital still said no, he has to die at the hospital. So these parents are trying everything to get their kid out of this hospital, take him to get, experimental therapy, or to at least take him home and put him in the bed in which that he was meant for. And this hospital and these courts and the government are saying, no, you can't. This basically what the government and the hospitals are doing are saying, this is our child. This is not really your child. Like, these parents have no control over their own child. The hospital is saying no. The government is saying no. And, like, what are these parents left to do? They have all this money. They have all this support. And the government is keeping their child away from them because he's going to, most likely he's going to pass. Yeah. And the hospitals, they won't even give these parents the right to their own child. And neither will the government. And, there was an argument that as Americans, we're looking at it through our morals and values that we see here in the States rather than what's in the UK and maybe what's different there. But that doesn't change anything, because our moral, the person who argues that probably also thinks, in Middle Eastern countries, that, the suppression of women probably isn't right, and they're against that. But why are you okay with defending UK human rights? It just doesn't make any sense to me why this hospital and the government is keeping this child basically locked up and giving these parents no choice at all.
No, it's really fucked up, honestly. I mean, it's like, if the parents fucking stole the kid from the hospital, it's like, would they arrest him for that?
I don't know. I don't
even know.
But you can't do that. This kid's on wires, You have to have a setup ready for this kid. He can't breathe on his own. Yeah. He needs professional transportation. If they were to take him to the States, he'd have to have a specialized, hospital helicopter. Yeah. Hooked up for him. But, those are, it's like, how could you deny parents of their own child what they want to do with it?
Oh yeah, that's really,
and
that's fucked
if
up.
That was your child, how could you decide against that? Let them do what they want with their child. That's their child. And if he's going to pass, then, let them have the say of how it's going to happen, and let them be comfortable of where it's going to happen. Not sit by the bedside because they were forced to at the hospital.
Yeah, that's very depressing.
It is depressing. So, yeah. Those are my stories.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Friendship Fest at all?
Oh yeah, Friendship Fest. I forgot that happened.
Yeah, we had Friendship Fest this year. It's a festival where it happens around where we're at. It's for do you think Moraine hosted? Do you think they're the ones that contributed, or is that
I don't
Town
think
Hall?
So. I think it's the city.
Yeah.
And I think they probably have a deal with the college with all the parking that goes on over here.
Oh,
and all the block.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
All the blockage that goes down this road over here, but I don't think it's hosted by the college. It's weird. I was over when I came down this road to come over here. It's all gone, They didn't waste any time packing it up. It didn't end until 10:30, but they probably didn't get people out of there until 11 at night.
They get that shit done.
Yeah, and it's gone. They are on to wherever. You know, it's like a circus for those people.
Well, they move around, yeah.
And it's crazy how they do that. But it was from Thursday to yesterday, Sunday, and we only went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
And Friendship Fest was, I mean, it was like last year. It was pretty, and the rides were fun.
Yeah, we had a good time, but, you know, some fucking asshole, again, going back to Tom, had to be a fucking sourpuss and not buy a wristband.
But he ended up spending, well, okay, so me and Zach combined, even though Zach spent more money on him, we combined to give him $20 on Friday, and he ended up spending another $20 yesterday. Yeah. So he could have spent just $10 more and gotten the wristband to go on all the rides unlimitedly, but he didn't want to do that, and he ended up basically paying more money for less. Yeah. Like $40, and he only got to go on like 4 rides each night. He was there on Friday, and we went Saturday too, right?
Well, he went every night that we went.
Yeah, but I feel like he only went 3 days or 2 days. He went Friday because that was the day with your cousins.
Here's what happened. We went Friday, but I think we only went on 2 rides with him, right? We only went on...
Oh, and then he had leftover tickets, remember? Yeah. Okay. I do remember now.
And then he went on to Zipper on Saturday. And then we went on the Pharaoh. We were flipping him off and praising the devil. And then yesterday, on Sunday, we went on to Zipper again. He went with Jason. And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, Friendship Fest is basically like any carnival.
Yeah.
It's rides and food, and they had a beer garden and music with nobody bands and you know,
the Browns played. Anyways.
Nobody bands. Just kidding. The Browns are probably like I don't know. To me, when you get those Beatles impersonators or Led Zeppelin impersonators, it's just like that's what you chose to do.
Yeah, I know. It's like this is what you didn't choose your own band.
No, you decided that you're gonna impersonate.
Yeah.
People from decades ago.
Yeah, but the thing is, they probably make a lot of money doing it.
I bet they do.
They
but
probably make a lot of money.
Still makes me wonder what made this group of guys get together and say yes.
Yeah, well, I also wonder like how they really like feel about it. Like, I wonder if they have regret that they're not in their own band.
Right.
You know.
Well, I wonder if they do their own stuff on the side too.
They probably try to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope so for their own.
I mean, usually those kinds of people also have like other bands on the side that they do, but you know, they're not doing anything with it. We don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And on Saturday, we also went to Chicago.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "No, don't go down there. It's too late, and you're gonna get stuck in traffic." I'm like, "Mom, what are you talking about? It's like, it's fine." I'm like, I promise I'll be fine. And what I didn't tell her is that you and Tom were going with me.
Yeah.
And she thought I was just going by myself, and she was, she gets scared when going down to the city with how crazy it is sometimes.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, though. I mean,
it is.
I get her concern.
It does, but after I told her that you were with me, because I was like, I texted her when we parked, and I'm like, we're here, and she's like, who's we? I'm like, oh, Zach and Tom came with me too, and she's like, oh, you should have told me that. I feel so much better.
Yeah.
But it only took us, we left like 5 minutes to 5, we left at like 5 to 4. It was like close to 4 o'clock when we started heading down there after we picked up Tom. Yeah. And we got there just a little after 5 o'clock. So it only took us an hour to get there and park. And it took Humna and her friend like an hour and a half. And they were like, I was like, you should have just let me drive, because I would have gotten down there in like 3 minutes, Then, we walked through the Taste of Chicago. We didn't stay there very long. We just walked through it, and we found Humna and her friend, and then we started heading to the beach, and that took how long? Probably like 2 hours.
No, it took like 45 minutes.
Really? Felt long. But
it was like 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
Because we got there at like what time? Do you remember what time? Because it was like.
We probably got to the taste around 5:30.
Yeah, and then we met up with them at like probably 45. We left around 6, and then we weren't there until we weren't at the beach until like 7:05 or something like that.
Yeah.
7:15. So it was like around 45 minutes.
So like we were walking, and you know, we were close to Navy Pier, and every time we'd ask, how close are we? They'd be like, 15 minutes. And then, like, 15 minutes would pass, and we'd be like, so how close are we? 15 minutes. And it was just, like, every time. And we eventually got there, but the cool thing was, is we passed that firehouse, and there was a firehouse on the way, and it was, like, a one-garage firehouse. And I looked at it, and I was like, you know, that looks pretty cool. I like that, you know. And I was like, that looks something out of Shameless. And, you know, I was like, I think it is. And I looked at Zach, and I'm like, isn't that the firehouse at the beginning of season 7? Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, yeah.
At the beginning of season 7, where Debbie drops off her baby, and then the door opens, and she runs back and gets the baby.
We were all kind of like, well, maybe it's not because it looks too skinny, but no, it was.
And then Tom pulled it up on his phone, and we saw the park that was next to it, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was for sure it.
And it was pretty cool, and the beach.
Yeah, but it was like I think I told you guys, it was just like it's that kind of moment where it's like it's cool that they shoot stuff in like Chicago and stuff like that, but then it's like it's also like a turnoff because like now we know that's. You know, nowhere near the south side.
No, it is nowhere near their house.
Near it, and that's where they fucking live. And it's like, yeah, she could have taken a cab out to that area or something, but there's firehouses around their area.
But wait, hold on. But wait, Debbie, the whole thing about that is she's going to the parks around there to steal.
But that didn't happen yet.
I know, but I assume it's the same area, right? I mean, it looks like the same area. So maybe she did travel down there to get like the expensive, carriages, strollers.
Well, when she went down to the park for the first time, it was just her bringing Franny out there.
Right.
Wait a minute. You know what? She was taking the train. Do you remember that? She was taking a train.
Because the lady said, "Oh, your baby's so lucky to have a mother like you."
So I guess that's pretty plausible. I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I something like that just kind of. It doesn't ruin it, but it's just like why would you go all that way when obviously there's a firehouse, you know, in that area that you live in. Really, you're gonna go all the way that far out.
Well, if you're gonna steal the good stuff, you got to go to the good places.
Well, no, I'm saying when she was going to drop Franny off.
Oh.
And maybe
she didn't want to drop her off in the ghetto.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But, you know, I don't know. I just, certain things like that. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you excited for, you didn't even finish season 7 yet.
No, I'm only on, like, the 3rd episode, 4th episode.
I don't remember, because, like, the last time we were watching it, I fell asleep at Tom's house.
Screw Tom. Yeah. Ian, I don't know what his real name is. He posted a picture on Instagram today of Lip and Debbie and Carl sitting like on set and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're filming season 8.
Yeah. Well, when does it come out? Do you know?
I don't know.
I forget. I know it's during the school year. It might be in like August or September. It's probably somewhere around then. But, yeah, if you don't watch Shameless, fucking killer ass show. Even if you don't live in, like, the Chicago area or live in Illinois, it's worth watching.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, if you just want to watch a few seasons, the first 3 are fucking awesome.
And the first season, like, you gotta keep watching, because I remember when I first started, I watched the first episode. I didn't even finish the first episode. Like, I was like, I don't really like this. You gotta just truck through, like, the first few episodes, and then you'll get hooked. Like, it's kind of slow at the beginning.
Well, I told you though, like I watched it when it was first coming out, and I watched it with my mom, and I remember just being like, God, like that was one episode. Like, it's like there's a lot of shit that happens in the show, and it's like it's an hour-long show, and it's on Showtime, so they don't have any commercials, I don't think. Or maybe they do, but it's only one in the middle.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're going that whole time. Where, like, other shows, it's like they're really, like, 40 minutes long or something like that, and then the commercials take the other part. But,
well, I would think I would think there's, like, only a few commercials because on Netflix they're listed at, like, 50-something minutes.
Yeah.
Not a full hour, so I would assume there's a few commercials.
Yeah, but I'm like a fucking retard. Like I'm still like I'm still learning stuff about writing, and it's like a show like that. I was like, well, fuck. It's like, how do they just decide that that's gonna be the next scene? And you know what they do? They basically write out a storyline, then write out another storyline, and then write out another one.
I could totally see that.
They shoot them and then they cut them together.
I could totally see that.
You know, and there's like a lot of stuff that doesn't happen in order. That
because
they shoot,
you saying that, like, that's after you were like, explaining like how would they do that. I'm like, well, if it was like in my head, I'm like, if it was me, I would just write separate. I would separate the characters and then write, because what they probably do is they probably go, they probably look at the last episode and like they separate the character and their storylines, and then they just keep going as if the show was based on that character. Yeah. And they just keep going through the episodes, and then they go to the next character and the next. Because if you went by episode just as a whole, that would be that would probably be way more confusing to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I told you, I started to watch Oz again. If you guys don't know what Oz is, it's a late 90s HBO prison show. And it's like, yeah, it's totally like that. Like, it's online. Like, a lot of people would, like, post, like, one storyline of somebody. And, like, if you didn't know any better, you would think, like, the whole show's about that one person in prison. Like, it's really, really weird because, like, there's all these different storylines going on. They're, like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's weird because, like, there's definitely, like, bad guys in the show, but they'll, like, show you certain parts, like, from their perspective and what's going on. Like, there's the Aryan Brotherhood, which is, like, the Nazi kind of group, the skinheads. And, like, they're fucking sick fuckers in there. They're probably, like, the most evil group. But there's a certain episode where they fucking they take nails and they nail down a priest that was a pedophile.
That's gross.
Like into the ground, they kill him. And it's like there's almost like a moment where you're like, well, that's fucked up, but fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so weird because like you just follow all these different stories, but like you see it from their perspective, and it's like, oh wow, they look at prison like this. These people look at prison like this. It's a really strange show, but it's like they have to have like staff writers that probably write a whole idea out and then come together and then try to work that into one episode.
Well, how could you not? Like, that's a lot to
It
go
is a
through.
lot, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, it's really fucking. It's a nutty show, and the fact of like all these different things, and the thing that's weird too is like, each character basically has like their own story. These groups have their own stories, but it's like they're also implemented into other people's stories. So it's like, I can't imagine the amount of writing they have to fucking go through. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why that's like me and you.
Yeah.
In this, we have to do everything.
Oh yeah.
They actually have people who are dedicated, to do that certain job, and that's why it's so good.
And there's and there's also a bunch of different people doing jobs. You have the writer staff, you have the people who are directing it, you have the people who are filming it, you have the people who are editing it. It's a bunch of different fucking people part of that project.
And and in this company, me and you are the writers, the directors,
everything.
Idea makers, the editors,
everything. Yeah.
But we do have a social media manager, and we appreciate her very much.
Oh yeah.
We needed her, or else we'd be dying right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like so much better with her.
Definitely.
So I think that's gonna be the episode.
You're gonna there?
Yeah, we're at 58 minutes. So if we do, let's see, what are we at? 58 and a half minutes. So if we do the outro right now, we might be able to get the hour.
Yeah. So
follow, please follow and
our
like
Twitter.
us, and subscribe to us on YouTube and SoundCloud and iTunes. Go to the Alleged Network on YouTube, and you can find us.
Hit that
SoundCloud,
fucking subscribe button.
Yeah,
seriously. fucking do it.
Fuck the shit out of it.
Even if you're not gonna watch us, just even if you don't have a YouTube account, just make one and fucking subscribe.
All you need is a Gmail.
That's all you need, yeah.
And then go to YouTube and SoundCloud and iTunes and like us and follow us.
Subscribe to us.
The Alleged Podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can find our social media shit because it's so much. I don't want to list it all right now. You can just find our personal stuff and the Alleged Network stuff in the description. I think I want to make a separate outro that I could just put in the end, like a scripted outro.
Well, we should definitely make an intro and an outro at some point.
Just so it sounds a lot cleaner and we can get everything out there. We have 17 more seconds until an hour mark.
This has been episode 27. I'm Zach Dorr.
I'm Tyler Castro.
And make sure you watch out for new content and videos. And yeah.
And fuck Steve. And
Tom. Yeah.
And goodbye.